Hello guys, I hope everything is going well. My name is Simon, of course, by now you know my name, and this is the weekly Forex forecast. I'm going to cover for next week, that is from the 10th, I think Monday is going to be the 10th, all the way towards 10th, all the way towards the 15th, yeah, on Friday. So I won't waste time. We're going to cover for news first, and then gold, silver, and then the majors. Also, feel free to comment below which pair do you want me to break down in future videos, and I can easily look them up and then you'll see it. So without wasting time, I will actually go to the news right now. So on your screen you're seeing the news page that I use mostly for Forex Factory. I'm on the lookout for other ones, and yeah, just to compare things. I'm not saying Forex Factory is bad, but it's also good to have multiple sources so that you can get other news, if any. So as of the moment, in the weekly, for next week, we have, I think we should be having CPI as our major news. So we have Aussie news on Tuesday, CPI on Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday is just midday. So Aussie and the US dollar is going to be vast when it comes to the news, and you gotta be careful for that. This week was a bit eventful, this week that ended on Friday, because we had NFP and some good things happen. I'll show you shortly. So yeah, there's nothing much to talk about in the news really. So let me just get straight to the analysis. So with the dollar, the story we had last week was if we closed below point so and so, as you can see on the charts right now, we were expecting for us to go below this point so that we can see more downside like that. But the week ended the way it did because NFP happened, and with NFP there is usually the pre-NFP and the post-NFP. So pre-NFP printed bullishness, and then post-NFP just cancelled all that out. Yeah, so what am I looking for next week? I'm expecting something like this. Let me just draw it out quickly. I'm expecting for next week we get a push into the gap, and then from this gap is when we'll decide if we can go lower towards this level of 97, or if the gap fails, then we shall maybe see upside all the way back towards these levels there. So that's basically it. Nothing too fancy really, nothing too complicated, because analyzing should be just that, just 2 sentences, 3 sentences, you're done. And if I'm going to trade this, I'm going to be looking for lower time frames. So in the lower time frames we see this swing low right there. We get a break, that means there's more downside, and if we don't get a break, then there is more upside. So what does the majors tell me? So the majors are correlative with the dollar. So the majors, if the dollar sells, Aussie buys, Euro buys, the pound buys, and all other USD dash pairs they sell, as you can see. So in the weekly, we had a beautiful Aussie story in the weekly. This has been my analysis for a while now, as we this fair value gap failed, so price has been pulling up for a week. So I'm still holding on to this analysis. We get a break here and a retest. We are soon to see some more upside all the way to this level of 0.72733. For the euro, however, the euro is starting to show a beautiful story as of the moment, because sorry, this is an old text. Yeah, so for the euro we have a failed fair value gap and a left back fair value gap. So now we closed above this one. This was a high post from a previous fair value gap. So if we get a pullback into this fair value gap, we're bound to push even higher. So let me just remove this so I can draw a clearer line. So as I said, any pullback into this, we closed above, yes, that's okay and beautiful, but any pullback into the fair value gap is going to send us above like that beautifully. So maybe I'm expecting another week of some bearishness before we ultimately become bullish, but again, that depends on what the dollar will do. CPI is coming, so with the inflation story going on right now, yes, we know inflation is still high in the US and all over the world, so maybe we could see some bearishness before we overall become bullish for all XAUUSD pairs. So NZDUSD, the story is still good. The swing point failed. The fair value gap is already far beyond reach. So now I'm only expecting upside, as you can see on the charts. And if I'm to take this trade, just go lower time frames and look for yeah. So for this, I missed the trade. I got a stop loss. It was pre-NFP, took me out, and yeah, so like that. But we have this fair value gap still holding. So any price action above would determine if we're buying more or not. But this fair value gap here is the fair value gap of focus. And for USDCAD has actually greater bearish setups of the moment, because we have two swing points that have failed. We have this one and this one only in the course of 1 week. So it's only downside for here now. We had two strong news in the previous week for both the CAD and the USD. So it's only downside from here. We expect more downside all the way towards this fair value gap before price either chooses a direction. How am I going to take this trade? I am going to go lower time frames in the daily or the 4-hour and observe. So in the daily, this is what I'm expecting in the daily. If we pull back, and I'm guessing the pullback is into the fair value gap in the 4-hour exactly. So if we pull back like that, we will pull back into this zone and then trek away like that. Or if this fair value gap fails, I'm only expecting more consolidation for the USD CAD at this region. But my high chance probability is for it to go into the gap and then keep tanking like that. Yeah, so basically this is how I'm going to take my trade, and I'm going to target other regions, as you can see on the screen. This swing points left by, in the fair value gap like that. Then we have the USDCHF. Now I took a trade here specifically. This is an old trade, and this is an old trade. So of course I'm reserving these videos because in the future I want to show. I'm reserving these trades because I want to show where and how people commit mistakes in trading. I'm still cooking it, don't worry. And yeah, so there's a fair value gap here that you could use to go low all the way to 0.8115. The dollar chef story in the daily is a bit jumbled because there is no fair value gap or no nothing for it to trace back into, and in the weekly it's just filled with consolidation. So I'm just looking for a quick 4-hour trade. Maybe I'll take it in the 15-minute after this fair value gap works, so that I can get more distance to go lower. The UJ as well, you realize that it has the same scenario playing out. High time frame, 4-hour fair value gap right there, still holding, but this is a bad rejection, but it's still double setups here. The fair value gap is holding because this bullish fair value gap here at the moment has failed. So I'm only expecting the consequent fair value gap to hold so that I can get more sell pressure, at least to at this point. But the story in the daily and the weekly is still jumbled. However, in the weekly, this is what I'm looking for, just a pullback all the way into this fair value gap for it and then to tank. Maybe Monday could start with the gap above, and the gap above could be into the fair value gap, and then we could start seeing some bearishness all the way low. But yeah, and lastly, let me just talk about gold and silver. I'll start with silver. Now silver for me is still good. As you can see, this is a trade that I told you guys. I took it last week when I came back to the YouTube scenario and remade a weekly forecast video, of course. Told you I'm seeing buy potential, and because of this fair value gap right here, the fair value gap held for a while and then price shot up. This shooting up is because of both NFP and FOMC in the consequent weeks. So we have our key zones, two key zones being broken. That is this one that I'm marking now, 60.961, and the zone of 63.04. No, actually 63.45. Yeah, 63.268. Pardon me. Yeah, so we have both of those zones being broken. And my key strategy is, if you have such a zone being broken and if price crosses above that area or that swing point, because it is a swing point, it's a swing high for me. If you have price closing above that area, we still have more upside. So how am I going to take this upside? Because the weekly story is the same, breaking of the zone, fading the fair value gap at that area, because we had a fair value gap here. We just try to zoom it. We had a fair value gap right here, and now it left a swing point and the swing point failed, so it closed above the swing point. If I'm going to take this trade, I'm going to go in the 4 hour, and then in the 4 hour I'll look for the nearest fair value gap at the region. So at the region, that is this second line of 63.268 here, is where the zone broke. So this fair value gap is my key entry for Monday for more buys for silver. So I'm seeing more upside for silver, even though this rejection is a bit of a strong rejection, but remember, it rejected and it still managed to stay above that area. So I'm expecting price to have more upside. Yeah. And lastly for gold, for gold. Now gold actually made me some money last week beautifully, and this is why. So in the beginning we said, oh sorry, so many lines there, it's okay. In the beginning we said the ideal point for gold to sell would be would be this area of 388. So, and we said if we get a sweep here we could buy, and we had predicted that price would have to go all this way low for it to buy, and if this zone didn't hold, then we would get more selling pressure. So, but that didn't work out, so I'll be deleting some lines. I'll be deleting lots of lines actually. And now I remember marking this area of 4205 as a key resistance area, because if I go down to the daily, you'd realize that it is at this area that price rejected not only once, just twice. I think we have here. Every time price reaches this zone, it fails and drops. Now NFP and this is ADP and NFP together with FOMC in the last week has been a core factor to pushing gold up towards this point. This here was my first line of defense being broken, and now it has been broken completely. So what am I expecting? Maybe a pullback into this fair value gap, though fair value gap is already far enough. A pullback into this fair value gap would suffice to push price even higher, and this would be a beautiful entry for those who are looking to buy gold around 42.20 or 42.20 is it? Yeah, 42.20. A good area to buy gold here right now and keep going. I'm expecting, because of seasonality and other factors, holding gold for the rest of the year, if you have buys, is the safest bet. Yeah, it's the safest bet. Now, if I'm looking for short distance setups in the 4 hour, I'm going to notice that in the 4 hour we have fair value gaps working all the way above, and this order here was my order yesterday. This one I was expecting price to come as low as 4225 5, but it didn't take me, so it left me. But it's okay, we live with that. And then it just went all the way towards that. So I'll be observing these fair value gaps in this region, all these 3 or 4 fair value gaps here, because gold makes strong pullbacks, just as you see. This one here that was made before NFP, this was immediately before NFP. It just had a full day pullback, and then on NFP just shot up. In the daily you see beautifully, like, yeah, so the full day just pulled back, and then beginning of the next day just went up. So I'm just looking for the 4-hour for setups that would allow me to, you know, buy up until at least 4380, and then from here we can decide if we're gonna go down or gonna go up. Will I take this trade from this region to here? Yeah, but only in the lower time frames, of course. I'll just observe how fast it can reach here before either dropping or going up. But this 4380 is another line of defense that I'm looking towards, and if it holds, then we're good. If it doesn't hold, then we have more upside up to 4595. If 4595 doesn't hold, we have more upside up to 4900, and then now we already have a bullish trade all the way to the all-time highs. Yeah, so that should be it for the analysis of the week. Nothing much, not too much to talk about, really, just some beautiful setups. So if I'm going to pinpoint my key setups for the week, that will be, of course, silver as my first one, also gold as my second, and then I'm not gonna trade UJ yet, I'm just gonna leave UJ on the side. I'm thinking USDCHF is also a good setup, and the EURUSD is also a good setup. Yeah, so 4 setups for the week. I'll heavily focus on gold and silver alone, and one of the majors. I don't like to diversify into all of these 7 majors because it can be confusing trading all of them. And yeah, anyways, thank you for having me, and hope to see you soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you out there. Happy trading.